collusion after 2 years they found out and wasted $45 million. This is a disgrace that this could happen in our country. It's a hoax. It's just a continuation of the Russian witch hunt, which turned out to be phony. The Mueller deal was phony. And now they have this.
The president on the corrupt efforts of subversion of the radical Dems and the deep state, trying as well to overthrow his presidency. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton, by the way, has hired a legal team. He's in contact with House committees, the legal team at least is, leading the so-called hoax impeachment inquiry. Bolton's name mentioned in testimony this week by former White House Foreign Policy Advisor Fiona Hill. In her testimony, it's not clear whether Bolton will actually testify. Former National Security Advisor General Michael Flynn's legal team says FBI agents altered Flynn's FBI interview records, so-called 302s, trying, they say, to frame the general. In a new filing, Flynn's attorneys claim Pentagon official James Baker may have illegally leaked transcripts of Flynn's calls to the Washington Post back in January of 2017. Flynn's team says former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper told the reporter words to the effect of, "Take the kill shot on Flynn." This is nasty, vicious stuff. Well, joining us now is the General's Defense Counsel, Sidney Powell, former federal prosecutor, author, attorney for the former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Sidney, great to have you with us. Let's start with this claim of an ambush by the FBI, going all the way up to Baker and his involvement. This is extraordinary. This should be the basis, one would think, to dismiss this case altogether against General Flynn.
Oh, it certainly is, and that's ultimately what we're asking the court to do, Lou. Yes, we found a text message that the government has not disclosed to us at all, in which Agent Strzok admits a pretext for going to talk to General Flynn. He also admits in statements he's given to the FBI earlier that he and McCabe had a number of meetings deciding whether and when to try to interview General Flynn on this pretext. And then there was a high-level small group meeting of the FBI the very day before the Flynn interview to make strategic decisions about how to interview him to keep him relaxed and unaware of the regular full meaning of the interview he was about to participate in. Then, of course, McCabe makes the call to him to encourage him to have it uncounseled and proceed to just talk to the agents as if nothing was going on at all. He had no idea he was under criminal investigation when he had the interview. Right. And then they come out of it. They know he didn't lie. That's their firm belief.
And Baker, meanwhile, leaking confidential, classified information, all, again, designed to undercut General Flynn.
And that's a different Baker. That's the retired Colonel Baker, who's head of the Office of Net Assessment.
At the Pentagon.
Yes. James Baker of the FBI was actually in on the pre-meeting to decide to interview General Flynn without warnings of any kind and to keep it all casual.
So where are we? How soon can a decision? I mean, this has gone on and on and on. The American people I have to believe, are so frustrated with this entire process that there would be, I think, a forgivable view that justice is lost in America because we're watching people of money and stature and standing leading our government who are being torn to pieces by a justice system that is supposed to presume innocence, not guilt, and certainly not conspire to destroy, but rather bring justice to those accused.
Well, the Obama administration and the Comey FBI completely perverted any sense of justice here with the assistance of the Department of Injustice, as we shall call it for the time being. That has got to be rectified. We have to remember that Judge Sullivan has only recently started seeing the real facts in this case. He didn't know any of this until I filed it yesterday. And the first glimpse he saw of it was when I first came into the case back in the summer. Right. So this is all new to him. We have a hearing on November 7th in which he will decide something on the basis of the motions that we have just filed. And I think it could be quite stunning because he does not like it when the government does not produce all the exculpatory evidence the defense is entitled to. And here we have documented time and time again where they have failed to do that.
You know, I can remember a time when we would have expected that kind of standard, the high standard of any federal judge, not just a rare occurrence as this one appears to be. We have seen failure after failure of the American judicial system here, politicized as it is.
We certainly have, and that we've got to turn that around right now. I think if there's any integrity left in the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia and the Department of Justice at all, they will themselves move to dismiss this outrageous case against General Flynn before November 7th.
And let me ask you on another matter, if you are comfortable taking up the expansion of the Durham investigation, what you make of it, and your outlook.
Oh, I think it's crucial. We have got to reestablish the preeminence of the rule of law in this country. Durham's investigation is absolutely crucial to that. The Democrats say that no one is above the law, yet if you start investigating anybody on their side, all of a sudden it's a political operation. If Mueller had done the job he was supposed to have done to begin with, this would have all been investigated already. But as we know, he only looked at one side, and that didn't include things like a letter from Sir Mark Lyle Grant totally trashing Christopher Steele back on January 12 of 2017 when it would have stopped the last two FISA warrants. And that should have happened. The special counsel knew about that, and they've hidden it.
Sidney Powell, thanks as always. Great to have you here. And good luck.
Thank you, Lou.
Thanks, Ed.